Playing difficult games is fun for many people, but sometimes you may want to relax or not be tense while playing. Or maybe you're physically incapable of making high dexterity movements, which makes the game unenjoyable for you. The reality is that many games nowadays don't cater towards players who would like to play something like this. It is getting better with more games taking this approach, but I thought I'd outline what I did in my game, Girabox, to cater to these players who would like to play in a more laid-back way. And I'll also explain how this doesn't necessarily mean that hardcore players can't have fun either. For context, Girabox is a puzzle game in which you rotate the world. That's everything you'll need to know for this video. Also, Girabox actually just came out today, and it costs only $149 with a sale of 15%. So if you're interested in trying it out, I would recommend going to the Steam page right now. But yeah, onto the video. So let's get started. The most important element for these kinds of games, in my opinion, is allowing the player to play at their own pace at all times. This doesn't only mean that the game allows you to go slow when you want, but also allows you to speed up when you want. For example, in Girabox, every single level can be beaten even if you press one button per minute. However, you can be a really intense player and press one button per frame or something crazy like that, and that's also a very valid way of playing the game. This works because Girabox encourages both playstyles. There are two modes of play, one of which has a timer and the other has a move counter. If the player wants to play quickly, they can play with a timer to improve their times. And if the player wants to play slowly and meticulously decide their moves, they can play with a move counter. Of course, there are also players who want to experience the gameplay and content without worrying about doing their best, and just relax and just experience the game. Girabox also allows you to do this by not locking away any content if you don't want to try either of these modes. Regarding content, if it's possible, it's better to not lock any out. For instance, in Girabox, you can play every single level in whichever order you want. However, after you beat a level, you're sent to the next one. This incentivizes the player to play them in the order that they appear in. And also, it keeps downtime to a minimum. This approach allows players to have the flexibility of skipping levels that they're not comfortable with, while still having it so that most of them will still play the game in the order that it's supposed to be played in. When choosing this approach, it's important to signal content in a correct way. It's very important for the player to know exactly what the intended level progression is. They should know exactly what level should come next or what type of content should come next, so that they're not confused. In Girabox, levels are labeled from 1 to 12 and are held in packs. These packs are labeled after the alphabetic letters. This makes the level progression within packs clear, as well as what order you should play the packs in clear as well. Another important thing to do is to allow hardcore players to push themselves if they wish to. In Girabox, this was done with ranks and leaderboards. Every pack has ranks that you can obtain by completing it in under a certain number of moves or under a certain amount of time, depending on what mode you have selected. Additionally, there are online leaderboards that the players can compete to be the best. While this approach works well for Girabox, it doesn't work well for all games. If you're making a single player game, you can add complexity by having secret movement options like in Super Metroid, or have secret mechanics in multiplayer games like in Super Smash Bros. Melee. Overall, there are many different ways of making your game accessible to a casual and hardcore crowd at the same time. Girabox is just an example of this design philosophy, but I hope that this video has helped you in finding more ways of doing that. I would appreciate it if you bought Girabox on Steam since it's super cheap at just $149 USD. And I would also really appreciate it if you left a review as well, since that helps for discoverability. Anyways, that's it for this video, but if you'd like to see a post-mortem or something for Girabox to see how it all went down post-release, then say so in the comments, and if it looks like it's something you guys are interested in, then I'll make a video about that. But until then, see you next time.